everyone, this is Edna again, coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, and it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I know it's been a minute, but today I want us to switch gears a little bit. I know the last few videos we've been talking about immigration, how to make your life better, how to better the lives of you and your families. But today I'm going to focus mainly on your inner happiness. Um, I feel like there's hierarchy in life. We need to feel ourselves internally. You cannot be really externally happy if you're not internally a happy person. That's why we find ourselves chasing for things in life to make us happy. And today I'm going to really focus on having a spirit of contentment because I feel like most of us are not content with where we are in life, what God has given us, and that's why we keep chasing about having a better life, more money, better family. So how do we get ourselves to a place in life where we are content with where we are, what we have, and who we are as a person? Because I feel like as a human being, if you're content with where you are and who you are, you're bound to just find happiness in any circumstances. And since I'm a person of faith, I tend to really boil everything down to my spirit, my relationship with God, because I feel like God gives me a lot of peace. God gives me a lot of contentment, and my faith contributes to a lot of my ability to be content in life. So maybe we should start by defining what contentment is, and that is going to vary from person to person. For me, I view contentment as being satisfied with what I have, where I am, and who I am as a person. That's it. It's just as simple as that. We cannot make it any more complicated than that. And how I personally find contentment, and it's going to vary from person to person. But I think for me, my basis is to teach you what has worked for me, and then you are going to implement that and find things that are going to work for you. So for me, it's just allowing God to make a plan and a purpose for my life instead of being the person that is going to take over. I look at my life as a moving car because we have a destination. In this world, we are here for a time, for a reason, for a purpose, and it's going to come to an end. There's one thing that is imminent. You're born and you're going to die. There's going to be two dates in your death stone when you're no longer in this world. It's going to show your birthday and the day you're gone. So what do you do between you when you're born and when you die? What is your purpose? So I feel like I have to allow my spirit, my faith in God is going to allow me to let God take control of the steering wheel, because somebody's going to lead that car to a destination, right? That is the destination of the end of my life. So personally, instead of me trying to steer my life around to whatever direction I want to steer to, I've allowed God to take over the steering and lead me, guide me to my destination. Because I feel like we all have a purpose in this life. All have a purpose in this short life we have, and you have to find fulfillment. You have to find a way of using your purpose in this life, in this time that God has given you in this world to be able to accomplish. So really allowing God to take over the wheel, allowing God to make plans for your life, to show you his purpose for your life in this world. Because some of us are really going to be, I normally say the richest place in the world is the graveyard. Because at the graveyard, we lost a lot of ambitions, we lost a lot of talents, we lost a lot of accomplishments that people would have accomplished in their lifetime, that they died without accomplishing it. So what is your purpose? You should need to ask yourself every day, what is your purpose in life, and how are you going to achieve that purpose, and how are you going to be content with that purpose that God has given you in this world? So the biggest thing is really not for you to be content. You should not allow the devil to steal your joy, because if he has a chance, he will steal your joy. By allowing God to take over control for your life, you are preventing the devil from stealing your joy away, even in circumstances that you think are very difficult. Actually, I think the devil really uses those circumstances to try to steal our joy away, to try to steal our purpose and our mission in life and the purpose that God has for you away from you, so that you can be an happy. So that's why you see a lot of people with depression, anxiety, panic attacks. Why do we have that? Because we feel like we lost control of our life, and hence we feel in disarray, and we go into this panic mode. Like, we have control over what happens in your life. You don't. You don't have control of when you're born. You have no control of when you die or how you die. So why not let God take control and be content with where He's put you in your life? Trust me when I tell you this. Money, fame, riches, family, children, and all the things that people put labels on is not going to bring you contentment as a person. If that was the case, everybody in Hollywood would be the happiest, content humans around. But like we see in everyday news, that most of those people go through divorce, they're constantly in drugs, they are constantly in trouble. Why is that? Because there's something missing inside that they're chasing every single day. So what is it that, when do you in life feel like you're content? When you are content, when you have inner peace, when you have joy in every circumstances, no matter what. Let me give you an instance. In my job, I get exposed to people in the most vulnerable places. And I met this man that was 52 years old, and he was dying of pancreatic cancer. And if you understand anything about pancreatic cancer, it is really a death sentence. It's one of the most aggressive cancers that most people have a very short life between diagnosis to when they die. This man came to me having a very short procedure, but he knew he was going to die within the next, they gave him 4 to 6 weeks. Most people die before then. But he was the happiest person I have ever met. So I took the time to talk to him, and there's a few things I learned. When I talk to my patients, I try to learn a few things about their life, because I feel like they're the most vulnerable place in their life. And if I can learn something from that circumstances, then it's going to make me a better person. And I talked to this man, and he's, I was asking about his family. He's like, yeah, I've been married for, I think he said 20 years. They didn't have any children. So I'm like, well, do you regret that, especially leaving your young wife? Because the wife was in her mid-40s. He's like, no, God didn't have that in the plan in our lives. He didn't have children planned out in our life. So that was not the purpose of God. But you know what? I have gone to places. I've actually raised so many children. I have fostered so many children. So to me, I learned that you don't have to have everything in this world. You don't have to have family. You don't have to have money. Don't have to have children. You don't have to be to be the most famous person to feel contented. It's just being joyful and really the heart of gratefulness to what God has given you. And then from that, just you look at a man that is on his deathbed, is living behind a very young wife, doesn't really have, you can say he's going to leave an inheritance where he has children that he's going to pass on. But he's content. He was a happy man. He's like, you know what? God gave me a life that I have lived fully, and soon he's going to take me home and I'm going to meet him. And he was really, really happy about that. So I'm like, this is a very content human being. And I looked up to heaven and said, God, give me that spirit of contentment. And that is what inspired this video today, is to tell you to find the spirit of contentment regardless of your circumstances. Do not let circumstances dictate your happiness in Jesus Christ. And because He already paid the price for that. He already paid the price of the cross for that. So let's just find happiness in everyday circumstances. Wake up every day and say, you know what? There's somebody somewhere that wanted to see today, but they couldn't. I was able to see today. I was able to take my children to school. I was able to go to work. I was able to take a breath without having pain. So let me just rejoice in that reason that God has given me a life today. Because you could have been that person that woke up dead in the morning. Really. You don't get to dictate when you go. So just at the end of it all, I think this video is just to teach you to build a relationship with God, to have inner peace. Show love and gratitude every day that you wake up to people around you. Wherever you meet, you don't know what that person's circumstances is. Just because you're driving and somebody cuts you in front of you in a highway, for instance, and you start cussing at them, being mad at them, do you know what is going on in that person's life? Or are you just reacting to where you are as a person, just being late? Just be grateful, be content, be kind to other human beings, because you don't know what they are going through. And then feel that you have a purpose in this short life. From the time you're born to death, you have a purpose in life, and in that time, just try to find your purpose and execute what your purpose is in life, what God has plans for you. And even no matter what your challenges are, try to learn from those challenges. Take it as a learning opportunity versus taking it as a point of whining. Instead of complaining, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, look at it as, hey, what is God trying to teach me in this challenging time of my life? Look at it that way, and that is going to give you a different purpose, different view, and above all, it's going to give you contentment in life. So today I'll leave this video here. I know I've kind of rambled on through various points, but I feel like the Lord was leading me to pass a message to you, to have always have a spirit of contentment, always have inner peace, and above all, be grateful and love each other. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you all.